What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and today we've got a special guest for you. Today, you're going to hear Lori's story about intermittent fasting and all of the beautiful, positive side effects that have come along with it. It's a really captivating interview, guys. I think you're going to have some aha moments. I know the people that have heard this interview already have been blown away and have really positioned themselves to make some mass changes in their life once they hear the ease and simplicity which Lori has approached this new philosophy and this new way of eating. You're going to hear how she was able to go on vacation and still lose weight while not feeling deprived and starved and overwhelmed or challenged. And actually, her statement to me was, this is the first vacation that I've been on in a long time where I don't feel gross at the end. So saddle up, get ready. You're going to love this interview. Here comes Lori. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weight loss success segment with a special guest. Many of you might know Lori Crete as my significant other. Some of you guys have no clue who she is, but today you're going to be in for a treat. And she's going to tell us about her most recent experience with intermittent fasting, which sounds crazy since she lives with the guy who's teaching the training. But I think you're going to get some really unique perspective from her today. And that's the reason I wanted her to share with you. So hi, babe. Thanks for joining.
Hi, everybody.
So I think the most important thing is I just want Lori to tell her story, and then I'll ask her some questions along the way. But I've been personally intermittent fasting, as everybody knows, for, almost 10 years. Lori and I have lived together for almost 15. So the question is, Lori, why now? Like, why not 10 years ago? Or why not, 3 years ago? Like, why did you find now to be the perfect timing for you to try the clean method of intermittent fasting?
Gosh, that's a good question. And I'm going to try to keep it as simple as I can. I would say that, oh my gosh, I'm going to share like whoever's listening in, like you and I are sitting down having a coffee together. I feel like the honest and the most authentic version I can give you will probably help you the most. So honestly, I got sick of feeling bloated. I think over the last year, some of us have derailed into a bad decision-making place when it comes to our health and our wellness. So I got sick of feeling bloated, puffy. None of my clothes were fitting the way they were supposed to. And as the world started returning to normal, I feel like we had two choices to make, right? We could stay with our habits that we had made during a time of chaos, or we could transition into something new and a more healthier routine like version of ourselves. And I just wanted to make that choice. I got tired of feeling blah, honestly.
And some of your clients were kind of coming in and talking about intermittent fasting. And that's kind of like what got the ball rolling for you. And many people would say, well, Jay, why didn't you just like tell Lori what to do? And first and foremost, if you've ever met Lori, that doesn't work. And I've learned that it's her journey, and it's, just because you live with somebody who does this for a living, she doesn't want to hear my nonsense all the time. And so I let her find her own course in her own pathway. But you had some clients that were coming in and said, hey, I've started intermittent fasting. You were telling me about one client in particular that had come in and looked dramatically different.
Well, first of all, this was like 4 years ago, so I am a slow adopter. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, honestly. But yeah, she was one of my clients when I owned my spa in Los Angeles, and she'd been my client forever. I did her spray tanning, so I saw her basically in her birthday suit, and it felt like it was rather like a quick period of time where I saw her, and then she came in for a tan, and I'm like, wait, what are you doing? You look so good. And she tried to explain the concept to me and made it sound like, oh, it's a piece of cake. And I thought, no way. There's no way that somebody can look this good this fast and it's easy. And really, she didn't tell me anything differently than you had been telling me forever. But this is the thing. It goes back to what I said just a few minutes ago. Sometimes it's just about timing and being able to make a decision when it's right for you. And apparently I was a little thick-headed. It wasn't the right time for me. I wasn't willing to absorb the information, even though the proof was right there in front of me, and I heard your little voice in the background. So yes, I started seeing people that were looking amazing, fast, quickly, looking very different. And then I guess maybe when they were telling me how easy it was, I just wasn't buying it. So that could be it. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And then we started having some dialogue and conversations about it. And you're like, is this really what it is? And you had been introduced to a little bit of misinformation, right? Because on the internet these days, you got TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and probably a bunch of stuff that you and I don't even know anything about. But people are following these influencers, and there was some people that thought they were doing intermittent fasting, but actually weren't. Like it was a misguided approach. And so that's when you and I kind of got some clarity together on like, this is really what it looks like. And it is really simple, but there are principles that have to be, followed in order for the success to be like what your client had when you said it happened in a really short amount of time.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that I resisted it. And I know that you have heard me say this a million times, but I can do it all. But I can't go without the cream in my coffee in the morning. Like that was my one. And I now look at it as kind of an excuse because I thought, I don't really maybe feel comfortable committing to this, scared of failure, whatever it was. That was my one sticking point. And I think we all have that when we get to the point where we can make a decision to do things differently. There's one little roadblock that shows up. Mine was actually, can I still have cream in my coffee? You're like, well, you're not going to be doing it right. And then it's funny because I start doing this whole intermittent fasting thing, and I just decided to really commit to the process 100% the way you taught me to do it about 3 weeks before we went to Hawaii. And what a difference it made just in that 3 weeks. And I'll share my experience with the coffee thing when you tell me you want me to, but seeing the results from following the specific way that it's designed to be done, or the way that you teach it, I'm not quite sure what the proper terminology is there. The results were so fast that it made those little sacrifices so much easier. So then to answer your question, I started losing weight, right? And it was right away, 6-7 pounds. Clients started coming in to my spa here and saying, Laura, you look like you've lost weight. What are you doing? And I would say, well, I'm trying this intermittent fasting thing. And they would say, well, I am too, but I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it was all the little mistakes that I had made before. So I don't know if you want to talk about those or my coffee thing. You lead the way.
Well, I think the unique thing was I've known you for 15 years, and in those 15 years that we've been together, every single morning you've had coffee with creamer in it. I mean, I've never seen you drink black coffee. And you even look at me sometimes because I only drink black coffee, and you're like, I don't know how you do that. And you've even made the statement like, I look forward to getting up in the morning so I can have my coffee. Like it was almost like an experience or a ritual for you. And so after 2 or 3 days, I remember you saying like, this isn't even that hard. And then now you even said to me the other day about like, because you're not drinking it. You tried some with some cream in it, like during the day, like at noon. And what was your experience when you tried your old way of having coffee?
It tasted gross. It really didn't taste good at all. And I'm shocked. I have had coffee with cream or a vanilla collagen powder or something with calories in it every single morning since I can remember, back in my flight attendant days when I had to get up at 2:00 in the morning and go to work. And that was the one sticking point where I thought, I don't even want to do this because it's going to be too hard to go up the cream. But then I go, just for 3 weeks, I'm going to commit for 3 weeks till we go to Hawaii. So I had a little goal there. And the first 2 days, you're right. Before I go to bed at night, I used to say, I can't wait to get up to have my morning coffee. And then I started dreading it. I'm like, oh gosh, my coffee's not going to taste good tomorrow. That lasted for 2 days. And I think this is something that happens with any learning curve or stepping into something new, is there's a period of adjustment that you have to power through. So I would just, during that time, sip on the coffee slowly, make sure it was extra hot. And now I love it. I love it. And we looked around the grocery store and we found something after a week, after I got used to it. What is it that I'm using now? I don't remember the name of it.
You're just using some monk fruit?
Yeah,
So,
just a
yeah.
tiny bit, like half a little package of monk fruit, and it is my experience again.
Yeah,
But I don't care.
monk food is there's no calories, it's non-nutrient. So you're not breaking your fast by using that, but it's, I mean, totally enjoyable for you.
So that's some of the things my clients are saying to me now. Okay, well, I only have my protein powder before my fast. I only have coffee with a little bit of cream in it before my fast. And I don't really know. This is not my area of expertise, but I think that's a mistake a lot of people are making, and they don't see the results that they want, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that does both of those things: the cream in your coffee, your protein shake, and anything that has the caloric value like that does break the fast. Is it better than nothing? Probably, but if you really want to do intermittent fasting as it's designed for, and there's so many other benefits other than just weight loss, lack of inflammation, better brain clarity, hormonal balancing, better sleep. There's just a whole lot of things that go along with it. Weight loss is going to be one of the awesome side effects that you get to have. Just transitioning really quick, I want people to understand as well that you don't eat like I eat. Like, we don't eat the same foods. We don't have the same things that we love. Like, we look at food very, very differently. So I don't want people listening to think, well, Lori's just eating exactly what Jay tells her to, because that's never happened a day in our lives. And we eat totally different, and you're still having unbelievable success and feeling amazing doing this. So talk to people about that a little bit, about your nutritional decisions and choices. And do you feel deprived? Do you feel starved? Are you hungry?
No. And there are two benefits that have come out of this intermittent fasting thing. Number one is right away, the puffiness went away. So, and then number two, I had way more energy and started sleeping better. So you're right. It's not just the weight loss, but when you start to feel and look better, what a powerful motivator that is. Wow. And yes, to answer the second part of the question is, and I want to talk about this in a second, the third part is, it's changed my entire relationship with food and with being productive. So I'll share that, because I think women are always in a hurry and we want instant, fast gratification. So that's what it's done for me. But oh my goodness, no, we don't eat the same. I think sometimes people look at us at the grocery store and wonder if we're just roommates or what's happening. Because Jay has his grocery cart, I have my grocery cart. Sometimes I'll have food deliver. I'm more plant-based. You love your steaks. So it's very different. And we still found a way to sit and have dinner together. And I want to speak to those of you who are moms out there, or you have a family and you feel like you can't be different because you have to be of service to your family. I feel like that's almost and I'm not a mom, but I've listened to thousands of women speak in my treatment room getting facials and stuff. I feel like that's a piece of your life that you're sacrificing, and you really don't have to. You can make your family happy, and you can also make yourself a priority so you look and feel better.
Totally. Like, whatever you're eating doesn't matter. Like, what's on your plate isn't really significant. It's the experience of eating together, if that's what you're looking for. It's the communal aspect, and not the caloric aspect or the food that's actually making the difference. So I just wanted people to know that, because I think that's a common misconception, that you've got to eat exactly how Jay eats or exactly how this person eats, and it's just totally not true. Like, just answer the question. I don't want to make sure we move away from this before we start. Have you felt deprived or like hungry? Because I think a lot of people think, well, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so hungry if I have to only eat in this like window of like, and I think Lori's window is kind of like mine. It's like 11 to 7. It's like, that's kind of your spot. And we usually eat before 7 as well. It's like 11 to 6.
Well, that's a good question. I think the first 3 days I did feel a little bit hungry, but this is how I was saying, it's changed my relationship with food, and it's changed my productivity. So anytime I felt hungry, I just said, I'm going to do something productive right now to take my mind off it. And whether that was walking Rudy around the block, or maybe, cleaning the bathroom, or getting something done for work, I just really started tapping into the power of making decisions in my mind. And that has helped me. No, I don't really get hungry anymore at all, but that's how I got through that little adjustment period, which I think, I don't know, is it fair to say pretty much everyone goes through that when they change up eating like this?
Absolutely.
I just think you have to have a solid plan in place of what you're going to do when you start to feel hungry. I think you have to have somebody like you, where I would call you and say, oh my God, I'm so hungry, which I think your people get access to you that way in Facebook group. And you tell, you're like, have some BCAAs, have another cup of coffee, whatever it is you told me to do. So it's having a solid structure and plan and support in place that helped me through that period of being hungry. Changing my relationship with food, you learn to prepare a little bit ahead of time. So I know if I have a client or I'm at work or I'm busy at that time, I take one of your green drinks, and that's how I break my fast. But it's not an insatiable hunger anymore either. It's like you can drink one of those drinks and you feel satisfied until you are able to sit down and have your meal. So it's a different relationship with food for sure that this has helped me with.
Let's go back to Hawaii for a second, because I think a lot of people think, oh, it's summertime, there's vacations, there's this, there's that. There's no possible way I could do this. I'll just wait until that just never comes. Talk about like our experience in Hawaii. And I've talked in my private group about this, about how we set our day up and we didn't feel deprived from our fun at all. We probably drank more champagne than two humans should drink on a vacation, but we had a ball and a blast, and we never felt deprived or hungry or like we were missing out, but we still fasted. And I even tried to let us off the hook one day and I got slapped on the wrist.
Yeah. So I started 3 weeks before we went on vacation because I didn't want to feel so gross in my bathing suit. When you're going to Hawaii, our 30-something friends are getting married. You guys are all in great shape. That's why I started it. And I really didn't know what it would look like when I got to Hawaii. I had intentions and really knew what I wanted to do, but I was a little bit scared of what my commitment level would be. So I saw results so fast with this technique, your clean method, that I didn't want to blow it when I got there. And yeah, one day Jay said, well, it's 9 a.m. Let's just go eat so we can do whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I am so committed to this. For the first time in my life, I found this to be very easy to commit to. And I know me, I'm a structured person. I have to stay on that path. And it's hard to get back to. But the reason I wanted to stay on the path and I was so committed is because I was sleeping better on vacation. Sometimes it's weird in your own bed. I didn't feel guilty if I ate a piece of, what's a Hawaiian dessert that we had? The lava pie at dinner, as long as it was in my time frame. And also because I'm sleeping better, eating better, I had an incredible energy level. And you've never seen this before. I went to the gym for an hour every single day on vacation. So I came home from vacation not feeling remorseful or any form of regret, and still in the realm of what I wanted to have in my, still in that method. And it was easy to do, I guess would be the proper way to say it.
Well, not only did you go to the gym every single day, but then we would go on like a 6-mile hike. And then not once I don't think we took one nap while we were in Maui. And that hasn't always been the case. Like a lot of times on vacation, we're like, oh, we'll go take a little nap. Like we had so much energy. And being brand new to this process, that had to be bizarre. And I remember you saying to me one day, you were like, I can't remember the last time that I went on vacation or we went on vacation and I didn't feel gross at the end.
Yeah.
Like because of overindulgence and like just overdoing it.
I guess that's what I was trying to say. I don't feel like I'm on a roller coaster anymore. I found this incredibly easy system for me and my lifestyle. And I know people probably think, well, Lori lives with Jay. She's always been really healthy. And that's not the truth. I can power through a bag of salt and vinegar potato chips like no one in the whole world.
Seen it.
So this seems to really be easy. Yes, the first 3 days were a little tiny bit frustrating, but what isn't when you're stepping into a new way of life, really? It doesn't feel like a diet. It doesn't feel restrictive. It doesn't feel like I'm sacrificing anything. I don't know. I just love, I didn't know I'd be saying this, but I just love the whole clean method.
I love that. Well, I mean, I think, we could beat a dead horse, but I think everybody gets the idea that like, you're having some massive success on this. And this is a recorded call based on Lori's schedule. We had to do it a little bit of ahead of time, but I want you guys to know if you have specific questions for her, you can post them down below. Just make sure you tag Lori and myself and or Marissa so that we can make sure that Lori gets the questions, but I promise you those questions will get answered. If you have questions for me, you can post those down below. Most importantly, guys, if you feel like this is right for you, just like Lori said, we are going to do a 42-day, 6-week clean method, intermittent fasting workshop, if you will, where I'm going to walk you hand in hand, day to day. I'm going to show you when I eat, what I eat, how I eat, and then everybody else in the group is going to do the same thing. So you're not going to feel like you're alone. You're not going to be overwhelmed. You're not going to feel like I don't know what to do next. And like Lori said, those first 3 days when she would be at work and call me, you're going to be able to do the same thing with inside of our group with a whole bunch of people that are all on the same quest and the same journey that you're on. And that's really how we have massive success. So if you're interested, you've got the link. Marissa will post it up on the page. Full access. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask as well. And Lori, I just want to say thanks for sharing your story and your journey with the beautiful people.
Can I say one more thing?
You can say as many things as you want, babe.
Okay. I think that for anyone listening in that is feeling like, I want to do this, I'm not sure if I can, I would give you 2 pieces of advice that really helped me, hindsight, my experience, that I think may help you as well. Number 1 would be find a way to hold yourself accountable just for 3 days. And during those 3 days, find a way to be productive when you want to go outside of the whatever protocol you have. And then, find a way to be accountable. Have people in the group support you. Reach out to Jay, and just make that like what you focus on is accountability just for the first 3 days. But also look for the positive in it. Instead of letting your brain go to, I'm so hungry, go to, oh my gosh, my energy levels are up, or I feel like I'm designing something that's so healthy for my body post a period of chaos. Those were the things that helped me get through the first 3 days. And now I couldn't be more excited or thrilled to have this new lifestyle that I've created. So that's all I want to say.
Perfect. And we're going to do all those things inside of the group. It's going to be accountability. It's going to be support. It's going to be guidance. It's going to be question answering and asking. Like, it's going to be a super interactive process. And it's really going to give you the tools that you need to really do this for the rest of your life if you choose to. Some of you guys I've eaten like this for 10 years. Some of you guys will be like me and it'll be the only way you do things. And then some of you guys will use it whenever you decide to use it, but it will be a tool in your toolbox that will be so valuable and so important on your journey. And so I just invite you to take advantage of the opportunity, and I look forward to seeing you inside of the program. So Lori, thanks again. And if anybody has any questions, we'll have them posted below, and I'll get them to you, and we can do a little follow-up, or you can just answer them on the page.
Yeah, I'll totally check. I'll be happy to help anyone. Trust me, you guys, if I can do it, you can do it.
All right, guys. Again, this is a recorded call. If you have any questions, please post them down below. And we thank you for watching the workshop. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.